You're alive.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's 7 o'clock. This is the regular meeting of the City Council. I am the City Solicitor David Stepchek. The chair is unable to make it tonight. So I, at this time, would call for a motion to elect a chair pro tem.
I'll make that motion.
Who would you?
Oh, and that would be Councilor Susan Dean.
Second.
Without objection, Councilor Dean, you are chair pro tem.
Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Bangor City Council. Today is Monday, July 14th, 2025. It is 7 p.m. We have already heard the Pledge of Allegiance, so we will begin the meeting with the portion of the meeting that is set aside for public comment. This is the portion of the meeting set aside for general public comment related to city business that does not appear on this evening's agenda. Public comment, whether in person or via Zoom, requires a person to state their name and whether they are a resident of Bangor. The City Council has adopted a public comment policy that will adhere to that governs topics, comments considered out of order or offensive or confidential, and a time limit of 15 minutes at the beginning of the meeting, with the ability of the chair to reopen the public comment at the conclusion of the regular business meeting. Each person is limited to 3 minutes during the public comment. A timer will go off when your time is up. The public comment period is for City Council members to listen, not to respond or debate with persons during the public comment, although we may ask you questions. If you do not live in Bangor or own property in Bangor, please allow those who do to have the opportunity to speak first. If you'd like to offer comment on any item related to city business not appearing on the regular agenda, you may approach the podium. On Zoom, the public can be recognized to speak by utilizing the hand raise function or on the phone by pressing *9. Obscene, truly threatening, and over-repetitive remarks will be interrupted and removed, as will disruptive and disorderly behavior that interferes with the orderly conduct of the meeting. All statements should respect the dignity and seriousness of the proceeding. With that, we open public comment.
Good evening, my name is Scott Party and I'm a resident of Bangor. And I'm here tonight to speak about an issue of vital importance to our city's democratic process, the recent and drastic reduction in public comment time. Several months ago, this council, or previous iteration of it, made a decision to significantly cut the time allocated for public comment, reducing it from a full hour at the beginning of the meeting to a mere 15 minutes, with a balance relegated to the end of agenda items. The stated rationale was to prioritize comments specifically related to items on the evening's agenda, ensuring that those directly impacted by current decisions had ample opportunity to speak. While the intention may have been noble, the practical outcome has been far different and deeply detrimental. We have consistently observed that comments on agenda items are more often than not quite rare. Yet, without fail, there is a consistent and robust desire for the public to speak on matters not on the agenda. These are the issues that truly concern us, the everyday challenges and observations that shape our shape our lives in this city. There are moments when we, the citizens, can directly bring our concerns, our ideas, and our frustrations to our elected representatives. Furthermore, moving public comment to the end of the agenda has created a significant barrier to participation. It is now much more difficult to get people to come to these meetings. Residents feel their input is truly not wanted, and understandably. Few are willing to wait through an entire agenda, often or sometimes late into the evening, just for a brief opportunity to speak. This change has effectively discouraged public engagement. Moreover, a significant portion of the city business is conducted in executive session or secret session. This lack of transparency, while sometimes legally necessary, unfortunately leaves the public in the dark about many critical decisions and discussions. When so much is held behind closed doors, the public comment period becomes even more essential avenue for citizens to voice concerns, seek clarity, and hold their government accountable. To disenfranchise the public by limiting this crucial avenue for direct communication is frankly abhorrent and the principles of open governments. This is not merely a suggestion, it is a public complaint and a fervent plea for this council to reverse its position. Restore the public comment time to its previous length of 1 hour and return it to the beginning of the meeting, where it truly serves as a welcoming and accessible forum for citizens' input. Allow your constituents the full opportunity to engage with their government on all matters, not just those you deem worthy of the agenda. I am well aware that some of you sitting on this council tonight were not part of the body when this decision was initially made. To you, I appeal to your commitment to public service and your dedication to democratic principles. You now have the opportunity to rectify a decision that has stifled public participation and eroded trust. Our city thrives when its citizens are heard and when their voices are
Time
valued
is up, Scott.
and when their concerns are directly addressed. Please, let's strengthen our democracy.
Thank you, Scott.
Hello, my name is Michael Norton. I'm at 83 Elm Street, Apartment C. I have a picture of a house that's been a subject from that same street in past meetings. How do I get it on the screen up here for everybody to
I
see?
believe you would have to email the
Is there,
city with that.
is it pictures at the city or? So we can't do it right now, but that's what my point is. We can do motion pictures all meeting long, all year long, but there's no government efficiency. So maybe there can be an email address that you can identify, like what photos to at whatever.
You could do it to the councilors, to city manager.
Okay.
It's on the
But
website.
again, these are all motion pictures right now and sound too. And it's ridiculous that a member of the city, a citizen, can't just put up a picture as part of their presentation instantaneously with all this instantaneous going on. But anyway, both parties in this country and a locality for 2 decades now have argued and fought about how best to manage and provide health care for everyone and everyone as possible, according to our government and media. But the truth is, 2 decades preceding these most recent 2 decades, private citizens and civil servants had private conversations and discussions, education involved as well, neighborhoods and streets involved, about how to do the best healthcare system. I think it's time for an approach at considering a universal commerce, because commerce is way too closed right now. It's a joke. There's a member of the press here tonight from the Bangor Daily News, a graduate of Princeton University, an Ivy League, and the editor-in-chief behaves like a person with a GED. So thank you very much, and have a good night.
Thank you, Michael.
Everyone gets a file. Yeah.
More reading.
So everyone's got to file it. My name's Suzette Furrow. So my name's Suzette Furrow. I'm a resident of Bangor. I didn't have to file a FOIA request for any of that information. It was on the city website. I'd like to address the waterfront concert fence mural and paintings which have recently been displayed. These paintings were part of a proposed third amendment to the lease with the waterfront concerts that was proposed at the Business and Economic Development Committee meeting held on August 19th, 2024. At this meeting, the city solicitor read the amendment to the lease. In this third amendment to the 114-19 lease, it states that Waterfront has agreed to coordinate with the Community and Economic Development Department to develop an appropriate and aesthetically pleasing mural designed to be painted or applied onto a substantial portion of the length of Waterfront's wooden fence that faces Main Street at Waterfront's expense. Waterfront has acknowledged and agreed that the final mural design must be reviewed and recommended by the Commission on Cultural Development and finally approved by the City Council. So at the April 4th, I'm going to skip here, 2025 Commission on Cultural Development meeting, item number 6 on the agenda was the Waterfront Concert Fence Project presented by Bangor Beautiful. You can watch this meeting on the city's website. At this meeting, Annette Dodd from Bangor Beautiful presents the waterfront fence mural proposal. According to Bangor Beautiful Fence Murals information, each mural is being painted by a different local artist, being provided with a primed 4x4 marine plywood, and they're going to get a $450 stipend. At this meeting, the paintings had not been reviewed yet Ann Dodd states that 20 artists are currently working on them. The theme of Maine is a broad theme, but the plan is to have a website at the end where people can go and learn about the artist and why they painted what they did about the theme of Maine. As of today, July 14th, 2025, the murals are on display. However, there's no information on the Bangor Beautiful website regarding who the local artists are and what their explanation is regarding their paintings with a, quote, Maine theme. At the Commission on Cultural Development, when Annette Dodd is talking about the 20 artists, she says she probably jumped the gun a bit and hired the 20 artists to paint the paintings. The bottom line is these were approved and they were not reviewed, which was required in the contract. They saw 2 of them, which are, the more appropriate ones. So they were approved by violation of the contract without being reviewed. And then the council went ahead and approved them as well without seeing all 18 of them. If the city's Culture Commission and Economic Development Committee and City Council are all going to approve artwork without their review as required by the amendment to the lease with waterfront concerts, then how are the tax-paying residents of Bangor supposed to trust that they will honor any leases? This sets a dangerous precedent of approving artwork to be placed anywhere in the city without the review of the appropriate committees.
Time is up.
Some of this artwork is questionable regarding the symbolism, negative. Thank you.
My name is Justin Cartier. I'd like to yield the rest of my 3 minutes to Mrs. Furrow. Thank you very much.
So some of the artwork's questionable regarding.
I'm sorry, Suzette, we don't have a regulation to approve that.
Read it for you. Where were you?
Right there.
Some of this artwork questionable, enclosure 7, regarding the negativity and occult symbolism. It is questionable how some of these paintings are representative of Maine. The artist's names and explanations are not on the Bangor Beautiful website. These paintings can be viewed by people who are visiting Bangor and standing in line waiting to enter the concert area. They are in an area that homeless often travel between the homeless shelter and Shaw's. Some of these paintings can be viewed as dark and demoralizing. These paintings were approved by subverting the contract, which required the review of the Cultural Commission within the City Council. It was approved without a review of all 20 paintings in violation of the contract. I would suggest a member of the council make a motion to rescind this previous decision to approve these paintings, or if this falls under the point of order of parliamentary inquiry, this should be made by a councillor to address the procedural error. Since the council made a decision in violation of the contract, residents could call for an internal review and despite resolution, or could seek legal action and sue for breach of contract. Some of this artwork can be viewed as offensive and demoralizing public displays of art. I really hope you go to review these things that you should have reviewed before they went up. Some of them are literally satanic, which violates my freedom of religion. And I hope you do choose to look some of these over. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Justin. We do have some on Zoom. Owen?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, I'm Owen Schroyer. I live at 365 Union Street. I'm just calling in today to let y'all know that we're 7 months deep now with President Trump, and very happy President Trump won, especially now that we've elected a president that will stand strong on our mandate to get rid of all these third parties that we keep letting across our border. And I just like to say right now, everyone who's running city council and making decisions for the city, y'all better keep your eyes open, because if you go against what President Trump's trying to do and turn Bangor into Portland or Lewiston, giving out free housing for illegals, well, all your names are going to the DOJ. All your names are going to the DOJ. And basically, y'all shouldn't be letting them come in here, getting free housing, using our tax dollars to give them food, pay their bills, allowing them to basically just trample all over our country, trample all over our cities. And another thing, the president has a mandate. We're not going to have any tranny-loving faggotry in our schools anymore.
Oh, and that is out of order. We'll move on to Hillary Simmons. I believe we have time for one more.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening, Hillary Simmons, resident of Bangor. Good evening, council members and fellow residents. I stand before you tonight not out of disrespect, but out of deep concern for the decisions being made on behalf of this community and for the growing pattern of bypassing the very ordinance and bylaws that are meant to guide and protect our city. We, the people, elected this council to act not with haste or convenience, but with integrity, transparency, and full compliance with the rules that govern us all. Yet, time and again, we've seen approvals rush through without proper public notice, without thorough review, and without regard for the procedures laid out in our municipal code. These are not technicalities. These are not workarounds. They are violations of process, violations of trust. When boards or councils approve projects or policies without following the law, it doesn't just erode public faith. It invites legal challenges, financial risks, and long-term damage to the credibility of our local government. What message are we sending with ordinances are treated like suggestions, not requirements? What examples we set forth for our youth, our businesses, our neighbors? And when those who raise valid concerns are dismissed or ignored, it creates a system that is not only flawed, but unjust. We deserve a government that follows its own rules. We deserve transparency before approval, not explanation after controversy. We deserve public servants who don't just quote the law when it's convenient, but uphold it when it's hard. So tonight I ask each of you, will you commit to pausing approvals that have not undergone full review as required by ordinance? Will you ensure transparency and accountability in every step of the approval process? And will you hold yourselves and your fellow members accountable when those processes are bypassed? Because accountability isn't about blame, it's about trust. And trust is something we, the people, are not obligated to give. It's something our leaders must earn. Let's make this the moment where the trust is restored. Let's make accountability the standard, not the exception. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hillary. May I entertain one more hand where we only have one to go?
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you. Richard Ward, Bangor resident. Where do I start? I got 3 minutes. I want to give a shout out to ICE for doing the raid at the Kobe Steakhouse. I want to thank the federal agents that are doing their job in protecting our country. protecting our state from immigrants that are illegally entering this country and trampling on our country. I'd like to give a shout out to the previous speaker, Owen Schroyer, for also taking a stand for our President Trump, whether you like him or not. And I'd like to call on the city to work with ICE and streamline for more mass immigration, more mass deportations. That's what the people voted for, and that's what we want. I'd like to call for the city council to defund and stop paying for all the rainbow flags and pride sidewalks being put in when we have homeless people freezing to death outside. We got homeless people dying from sunstroke, and the city's rampant with a drug problem, but we're spending all this money on promoting faggotry. So thank you, and I yield my time.
Thank you. We are now going to close the public comment. Consent agenda.
Minutes of Bangor City Council meeting of June 23rd, 2025. 25-226 order appointing nominees to various boards, commissions, and committees. 25-227 order authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with CNC Lynch Excavation LLC for the 14th Street Walkway and Bike Pathway Project. 25-228 order amending the parking map referenced in Chapter 291 Vehicles and Traffic, Article 3, Parking, to include updates near City Hall. 25-229 order authorizing execution of a storm drain easement agreement regarding Sunset Avenue housing development. 25-230 resolve ratifying staff action to apply for grant funding in the amount of $1,500,000 from the Federal Transit Administration to purchase a community connector bus and ADA paratransit vans.
Move passage of the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any questions or discussion? Consent agenda has passage. Referrals to committee and first reading.
25-231 ordinance amending Chapter 165 Land Development Code District Map to rezone a property located at 509 Kenduskeag Avenue from high-density residential and urban residence 1 district to high-density residential. First reading and referral to planning board meeting on July 15th, 2025. 25-232 ordinance amending Chapter 165 Land Development Code District Map to rezone a portion of a property located at 1017 Union Street from Government and Institutional Service District to Shopping and Personal Service District. First reading and referral to Planning Board meeting on July 15th, 2025. 25-233 resolve accepting and appropriating $1,706,934 from the Maine Department of Health and Human Services to support an overdose prevention and naloxone distribution program for fiscal years 2026 and 2027. First reading and referral to Finance Committee on July 21st, 2025. 25-234 resolve accepting and appropriating $160,045 in funds from the Maine Department of Public Safety Office of the State Fire Marshal for Public Safety Wellness Reimbursement. First reading and referral to Government Operations Committee on July 21st, 2025. 25-235 resolve amending Council Resolve 25-201 to reduce the appropriation for the Bangor School Department in excess of the minimum spending target established by 20A MRSA Section 15671A4. First reading and referral to Finance Committee on July 21st, 2025. 25-236 resolve accepting and appropriating an airport improvement grant, AIG number 90, under the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law Program in the amount of $480,853 from the FAA and $12,654 from MDOT for the preliminary design rehabilitation of a portion of Taxiway A and Taxiway M at Bangor International Airport, BGR. First reading and referral to Business and Economic Development Committee on July 21st, 2025.
Move these items be referred to committee and first reading.
Second.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
could I amend the motion that's been made to amend, refer all except for Resolve 25-236?
Second.
You may now refer them.
I think we have to vote on the motion to amend her motion.
That's right. You should vote on
Is
the
it a roll
motion to
call?
amend first.
Roll call?
No?
It doesn't have to be roll call.
So we need to vote on the amendment for Council Resolve 25-236 to waive first and second reading.
No.
We're just doing the
We're
motion
removing
to,
it.
My motion.
Or just to remove it,
yeah.
to remove it,
You have a motion, you have a second.
So unless there's a doubt, you can do
okay?
I'm sorry, I don't know I can't, what's happening?
The first portion to remove the item, we need a motion and a second to remove it, and then we,
Wasn't there already a motion to refer all the items?
it. And I
But
just
it-
made an amendment to it to just remove that one.
before we.
So we-
Okay,
vote
and
amendment.
without objection, you can, the motion to amend has to be addressed first, and then the motion after that. With the amendment.
Right, so we made a motion to amend, and now we're going to make a motion to refer.
Did the motion to amend pass?
Haven't voted on it
We
yet.
haven't
Right,
voted.
okay. It-
So could we vote on?
It doesn't have to be a roll call vote. If without objection, it can pass without a roll call vote.
All right. Do we need a motion and a second? Or just a,
You have one.
You have them.
We have it.
all right, so that has gone through.
All right, so I would move the referrals as amended.
Second.
So we have
Questions, comments?
questions, comments on the amendment?
All right.
Item has been amended.
And I would move that the council waive the requirement of reading on 2 separate days with respect to Council Resolve 25-236.
Second. Any questions or discussion on? Yeah, I just don't know.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know the procedure on this particular one.
This one will, I think, take a real roll call because you have 6 votes.
Because you need
We have-
two-thirds.
That's
All right, so we'll go to a roll call vote.
Councillor Beck?
Yes.
Councillor Fish?
Yes.
Councillor Fournier?
Yes.
Councillor Hawes?
Yes.
Councillor Mallard?
Yes.
Councillor Trumbull?
Yes.
Councillor Dean?
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
All right. I would move the passage of Resolve 25-236.
Second.
And this resolve will authorize the acceptance and appropriation of an airport improvement grant under the bipartisan infrastructure law program in the amount of $480,853 from the FAA and $12,654 from Maine Department of Transportation for the preliminary design rehabilitation of portion of Taxiway A and Taxiway M at Bangor International Airport. The local match would be $12,654, which has been approved in the airport's capital budget for 2026.
Thank you, Councillor Trumbull. So we have passage of Resolve 25-236. If you could clarify, do I have to refer the other items, or have they been referred?
They did.
There's no reference.
Great. Unfinished business,
There is none.
new business.
25-237 order authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Forge Fire Company to construct a new live fire training building in the amount of $679,000. Councilor Fish.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This order will authorize the city manager to execute a contract with Forge Fire Company to construct a new live fire training building in the amount of $679,000. On June 9, 2025, City Council voted to accept and appropriate $679,000 from the Maine Fire Protection Services Commission for the construction of the new live fire training facility. The Maine Fire Protection Services Commission, in conjunction with the Maine Fire Service Institute, developed standardized specifications for the facility. In following Southern Maine Community College's procurement policy, a request for proposals was sent out. Through that process, they awarded the bid to Forge Fire and Company in the amount of $679,000. As part of this grant, the project was to be completed by May 1st, 2026. Forge Fire and Company requires a signed contract from the Bangor Fire Department to secure our spot in their building queue to ensure this can be completed by May 1st, 2026. I move for passage of 25-237.
Second. We have a motion, we have a second. Any questions or discussion on this item? Order 25-237 has passage. This concludes our regularly scheduled Bangor City Council meeting. Comments from staff? They'll say good night. Councilor Miller?
Good night.
Councilor Fish?
Good night.
Councilor Hawes? Good night. Councilor Trumbull?
I just want to say this because it's not often that I get to say it. But I agree with a lot of what Suzette said earlier. So I actually brought up, I think when we looked at that, I've had a long history with the fence down there and not always been a fan of the fence. But I think Waterfront made a great compromise with the city, and I don't blame Waterfront Concerts for what's on the fence now. In art, everybody has a different opinion of what's art. But I had actually reached out to some people at the city and asked what was the process, because I don't recall us I remember the mural to the left of that entryway. I think that came out great. But the artwork to the right, I didn't remember us authorizing those, and I thought they were going to be much larger than what's there. I've heard nothing positive about the artwork to the right since it's gone up, especially that it looks out of place. And so I didn't know if the process, if we could follow up on this. It just didn't seem like the process that was in place was followed the way it should have been to me. I don't know if it was or not, but that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Forney?
Good night.
Councilor Beck?
I would echo the previous speaker's sentiments. I'd like to look into that further, but also too, I'd like to also see if we can examine our public comment process. Now that we've had it for several months, I personally have only heard complaints. So I guess evaluate how it's been going, and, you know, is it possible we need to go back to the way it was before? But we have gotten some complaints from folks who would like to be able to come in and speak and go, and it wouldn't hurt to have a second look at that. Good night.
And I would just like to thank everyone for the opportunity to chair this evening. Sorry about the little snafu with that one item. And I have the utmost respect for those that have gone before me. This is not as easy as it looks. I do want to mention tomorrow and Wednesday are going to be extremely hot and humid. So I urge everyone to hydrate and stay indoors if possible. And also, for those who are unhoused and have nowhere to go, we do have a number of cooling centers. They're available on the website, but those people may not be able to readily read about them. So if you do see anyone out and about that needs our attention, please notify the authorities so that we can keep everyone safe. And with that, I will say, good night, Bangor. We are adjourned.